Opposition bloc candidates in Denmark's national election have pummeled the ruling Social Democratic Party over a single issue, which is immigration. A Yougov poll said 1 in 2 Danish citizens, they favor a cap on the number of Muslims permitted to live in Denmark, and 1 in 4 say the country's Muslim population should be no more than 5%. Within hours, the Danish People's Party, they had a parliament victory that demanded the border be closed in response to 14,000 asylum seekers entering Denmark, most of which are in fact Muslim. You know, Nick, this really changes and alters the political landscape almost overnight of Denmark. With this radical party shift, we're seeing this nationalistic party, the Danish People's Party. They've taken hold of seats in parliament. They're demanding that the border be closed, and they're really unhappy about the influx of immigration into their society.
Yeah, immigration is a hot topic right now in Europe. We're seeing more refugees in the world than we've ever seen. Particularly, we have things going on like what's going on in Syria, the civil war. Unfortunately, you know, it's countries in the south that usually get these waves immediately on their shores, like Italy, Greece, Spain. But now they're kind of figuring out how they're going to resettle all of these immigrants throughout all of the EU, and so Denmark is definitely going to be included in that, so they're not going to be happy about that for sure.
Well, this specific party is wanting to reposition their stance within the EU and tighten up, you know, the control over how many immigrants that they actually have to receive. I know that the EU, they sort of mandate to countries that belong to them, they have to take asylum seekers, and Denmark is possibly going to take a stand because they have this ruling bloc now. And oftentimes when we see a coalition government like this, we have a party that's very right of center, like this Danish People's Party, and they were able to take enough seats where they can actually control the immigration policy of their country.
Yes, I mean, same thing that we're seeing here in the U.S., right? Mm-hmm. We see the far right constantly bashing the Democrats over their very liberal and ways of thinking about immigration. They want to close off the borders a lot tighter, right? They're very against letting in migrants into the country because they don't really realize it benefits the economy. But this is completely different in one way, and because they're pointing out Muslims specifically, saying we should only have a certain amount of Muslims in this country. That's blatantly racist. That's xenophobic. It's sad, really.
I mean, it is, but they're known to be a very homogenous society. Unlike the U.S., yes, we are having our own immigration issues here, but Denmark specifically, very homogenous people, and they're having a very difficult time assimilating these Muslims that aren't of the same traditional faith of Denmark residents into their communities. And with this voting shift, they could see a radical change in their policy.
Yeah, and this could kind of, you know, piss a lot of EU states off, not just Denmark. There's a lot of other countries whose far rights vehemently oppose bringing in other people. So it's sad, and it's I don't know, for me it's blatantly racist when you say, you know, we can only have this many Muslims in our countries. You see the same crap in France. You know, you hear a lot of people saying that we need to ban Islam in France and this and that. So it's just radical and it's crazy.
We'd love to know what you think about Denmark, their stance specifically on Muslims, putting a moratorium on asylum seekers and immigration, what this means for them within the EU itself. Please log on, post your comments below about this story. While you're at it, subscribe to our channel, The Lip TV 2.